Hi, this is Roger Frick with Indiana Association of United Ways. Welcome to our campaign segment on being organized. This is one of 5 parts on some campaign tips to help you get your campaign put together and organized in a way that can lead you all to success. This segment is talking about get the works put together in a way that makes sense to people and that people can understand what responsibilities are. I've listed a few of the elements we're going to talk about on the board behind me, but essentially we're going to talk through some basics, and the thing I encourage you to think about when you're being organized around your campaign is to test it against what makes sense and what's reasonable. There are a variety of schedules and structures and models for United Way that you can find that we have used over the years in varying sizes of communities and circumstances, but pick something that makes sense for you. It may be something that has been going on. You may be using a common schedule and organizational structure that has been going on in your community for a long time. It may be a circumstance that you've been organizing it every year in a different way. And if that's the case, then I just encourage you to think about what makes sense to you and your volunteers so that people can do the work. So the first element is putting together a schedule. And clearly you need to start in the early part of the year with the recruiting dates, the material preparation things. What are the steps that are necessary if you're going to have a successful campaign? What are the steps you must do to get ready? What are the steps you must actually do to conduct the campaign? And put that on a schedule. Put it on a schedule with some dates so you've got some deadlines for both the staff and for volunteers so that those dates are real. They're not just having this done by the 15th is a good idea, but think about how much time does it take you to do the work? What's that in the context of other things that must be done in a realistic timeline so that your schedule is real. It means something and you're all committed to it. When it is real and you commit to it, that's the buy-in necessary for all the necessary parts to work together and to do things when they said they would get done. There are elements of campaign that are sequential. You must do step 1 before you can do step 2. And so if you miss the deadline for step 1, you've suddenly pushed the deadlines for step 2, 3, and 4 out. So it's important that everybody agrees to buy in and that the schedule is important. It's also my belief that the staff have to set an example for this. The staff are the only people in the whole process that this is a part of their work. And it's the expectation that this is important for staff work. And so staff need to set an example. And if deadlines are set, staff needs to be sure they meet deadlines that they can meet in order that volunteers understand it's important for them to meet their deadlines as well. So then, once we have a schedule put together, then we want to structure our campaign. And this is merely putting together a chart or putting together some lists to organize the work so we can keep track of it and get it done. We tend to organize accounts by some kind of category. And we have 2 or 3 models on the IUW website that you can look at the categories of organizing your campaign. But organize accounts that make sense so that people can keep track and it's understandable why these 4 or 5 or 10 accounts are put in the same category, why these accounts are grouped together. That's the structure of your campaign so that you can organize the work, you can give assignments to a team or to a group of people or even just to an individual, and so that they can see where their work fits in with the rest of your campaign. Be sure that as you do that structuring and as you assign accounts, you assign in a number of accounts that are appropriate to the folks who are going to do the work. So if you've got a team of 5 people, sure, they can easily take 25, 30, maybe even 40 accounts. But if you've got a team of 2 people and you give them 40 accounts, that means each person is calling on 20. That's probably not realistic, particularly when you compare it to the schedule, so that the number of accounts a group of volunteers are going to work on needs to be appropriate to them and how much time and energy they can put into it. And so keep the accounts appropriate to the size of your team. The other part about the structuring and the scheduling part is the reporting for accountability. We all like to know how it's going, how well the job is being done. And so comparing your structure and your schedule allows you to look at how much work was there to do, how much have we gotten done at this point. How you do those reports varies a lot by community. Some folks just send out an email, some may call around, some still have meetings. So how you report the status and the progress is up to your community, but again, choose something that works for your team so that as you're putting together this update and this progress status, everybody understands this is where we measure how far along we are against what we have yet to get done. The work plan is where you put all this stuff, the schedules and things, on your individual work plans. And so try to create it in ways that United Way staff can put it on their personal calendars, volunteers can see clearly the important dates that they have on their personal calendars, so that you have these schedules committed in ways that you can follow up on. You need to, everybody in leadership, whether it be staff or volunteers, needs to see this schedule and the structure in order to anticipate where are things likely to go wrong, where are things likely to take more time, where are potential setbacks, and where are potential extraordinary successes, so you can anticipate where those points may be and you'll know how to respond before you get there. In the same way, you can anticipate where those things may be, and perhaps when you start seeing those signs develop, you can develop some alternative plans or energies in order to counteract things that can slow you down or push you off your schedule. Most of all, when you're putting your campaign, you're organizing your campaign, plan for success, because this is a grand community adventure where you're inviting everybody in your community to contribute and be a part of United Way. So plan for success when you're putting this together. Plan for points where you can have little celebrations of progress and achievement. Look for those things so that you can keep everybody excited about how well your campaign is doing. Being organized is an important element of the campaign to keep volunteers involved, to keep your energies focused, and to help you be able to celebrate success when the work is all done. Thanks for spending a few moments talking about campaign good practices. As always, there are models, there are additional tools at www.iauw.org. Thanks for your time. This is Roger, over and out.